Morning, everyone. Thanks for choosing to be here this morning with us, and especially thanks for navigating the registration line to get here in time. I think in a survival of the fittest situation, you guys would all win for sure. I'm here today. My name is Alyssa. I'm from CLOUDCHECKR. I run our strategic alliances team. We're responsible for managing and cultivating our relationship with AWS and also other partners in the industry with whom we deliver our services. So I've got my friend Ben Lapson here from Digital Age Experts. He's going to talk a little more later on about our relationship and the work we do in the intelligence community sector. But really the purpose of this presentation is to share how CLOUDCHECKR and certainly other software solution providers can work with partners in the AWS ecosystem to solve public sector challenges. I'd love to just get, before we really get started, get a sense of the audience here. Can you all, anyone who's part of a government agency, who works for a government agency, a direct customer, give me a hand? Awesome, perfect. And how about anyone who's on a partner team, an MSP, reseller? Perfect, thank you. So CLOUDCHECKR has a number of great partners in the public sector, and we believe that each service provider can bring a unique set of skill sets and solutions to the public sector. The capacity, the market capacity is there, certainly, and there's very much still room for everyone to deliver innovative solutions to public sector customers. So I'm going to start with a little bit of background of CLOUDCHECKR in the public sector. So we were founded in 2011 as a security and compliance software. Cloud compliance, I think, was the original name. Somewhere in between then and now, got a little creative with the CLOUDCHECKR. But we did start out as a security solution, and so we were truly born for and in the public sector. We launched, we were actually the first technology company to get both our government competency and our security competency, and also the first comprehensive cloud management platform to deliver government solutions on GovCloud and our AMI, and then our AMI for the IC region, which Ben will speak a little bit more toward. We do have a multi or hybrid cloud offering, depending on your definition of that. But we are born on and really built for AWS. So you'll hear a lot of references really to the work that we do through and with AWS throughout this. And then coming soon, CLOUDCHECKR on GovCloud Marketplace and our education competency also in process. So we're really dedicated to our work in the public sector. This is a really important and fantastic show for us. You'll see us on the exhibitors floor, the first booth you'll see. So I invite everyone to stop by and say hi to the gang. They're excited to be here and talk to you as well. So how is it that CLOUDCHECKR delivers solutions to the public sector? What are the things that we do that help empower public sector customers to transform their IT departments in the cloud? It all relates back to, everything in our solution relates back to really the heart of our solution, which is our best practice checks. There are now 550 best practice checks and growing, and they, each of the features and functionalities solves some sort of business challenge that I'm sure you as public sector folks certainly have, right? So, moving and migrating resources as part of a cloud-first initiative. How does the availability and utilization tool set help you identify those resources, ensure that you can see all of them and are managing them properly? How can you ensure that your IT projects are on budget, that you're able to watch your spend for the year, to plan forward, to make sure you're making the most of your budget? Our cost management best practice checks ensure that you have all of that information across your environment in one sort of easy to visualize platform. How can you ensure that your IT resources, those that are supporting these services and functionality of your websites and whatnot are available 24/7, right? What your constituents have come to expect is 24/7 availability of your resources. How can you ensure that those are maintained? And then, of course, security and compliance, which is the heart, right, of our solution, what we were built on, helping you maintain security. I'd like to poll the audience once again. How many of you are charged with ultimately maintaining more than one budget across your agencies, right? And very likely reliant on other people to, under you or working with you, to also manage their budgets. But CLOUDCHECKR brings all of that together into our cost and expense management portal. So working together with a centralized IT department or those in charge in the finance department of the budget to ensure that all of the business units are maintaining their commitment to staying on budget. How many of you are 100% sure, confident, that you know where all of your resources are and the purposes of all of those resources? Great. I assumed as much. Resource management, inventorying, as you're moving to the cloud, that's one of the most difficult things to track and manage, right? So what are you using to ensure that as things are moved to the clouds, they're getting there, for one thing. You can see them, you can manage them, and you can make thoughtful and informed decisions about what to do with them once they're there. How about this? How many of you trust every single person in your organization to independently adhere to your IT security policies? Assume that as well. And so leveraging CLOUDCHECKR's secure configuration and continuous monitoring of those security requirements and solutions that you've put into place, it's much easier to manage and trust your employees to adhere to those policies. Here's one I assume I'm going to see a lot of hands for. How many of your organizations are required to maintain compliance with one of the dozens of frameworks published by regulatory agencies? Mostly all of you, that's right. And so one of CLOUDCHECKR solutions is assisting public sector agencies and customers in being compliant with a variety of standards and benchmarks and being able to remediate against those in real time as variances arise. And in fact, one of the things that we're really proud of is our work with the various regulatory agencies to develop standards and, to develop reports that match with these standards and make compliance really an easier to do thing for government agencies. And I'd love to bring up, if our director of product is in the crowd, Travis, if you'd like to stand up. Travis and the product team have been working really hard on this new feature that we're really pleased to roll out here at Public Sector because we think it's a fantastic solution for our public sector customers and the partners that help us deliver solutions. It's total compliance, and won't steal your thunder. I'll let you speak a little bit more about that and hopefully inform the room on how that can help them.
Hello. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect. So today we're happy to announce, there's a press release went out this morning. So we are now a cost, security, and compliance organization. And so what that means for us is that any MSP, SI, organization, or otherwise who wants to manage multiple compliance frameworks for your organization or other teams under you, you can actually choose between 37 different compliance frameworks. And essentially what the system works is you'll be able to pick and choose which compliance framework you're interested in. It actually graphs for you over time your total compliance for it, your average compliance for it. But more importantly, you can actually select one of these compliance frameworks, drill down to the controls that are important to you, and correct for them right in our system. So it's literally a button in our system that will fix your accounts for these compliance frameworks. So this is something we're releasing today. You'll see all these frameworks coming into our system this morning. If you're interested, it's a free trial. Feel free to sign up and check it out. And we're really happy to sort of push it out for you guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Travis. I appreciate it. This is obviously a solution that's long been in the works, a long time coming, and should certainly make cloud management simpler. But we know and we appreciate that that moving to the cloud, that being safe in the cloud, that managing your cloud environment is not always easy. And we truly believe that our solution, while comprehensive, is best delivered with a partner with the skill set and knowledge and savvy to help form a comprehensive cloud strategy. And so I want to just touch briefly on a couple of our partnerships. I won't talk too long because I want to focus on the third one here, our partnership with DAE, which has come about in the last few months and has been really incredibly valuable to us and to our customers in the intelligence community. So with that, I want to run through real quick DLT. So DLT, aggregator of hundreds of AWS accounts, experts in AWS managed services for higher ed and ed tech. Imagine attempting to reconcile an AWS DBR with hundreds and hundreds of entities and thousands of lines in just a few days in order to deliver visibility in billing and invoicing to your customers. Well, this is DLT's challenge, and this is what they promise to their customers and have to deliver on, and do a really fantastic job of doing that with the partnership with CLOUDCHECKR in leveraging our billing and invoicing tool. JHC, you guys sure hear us talk about JHC all the time because we have a really successful partnership with them. They are an innovative, agile technology delivery company. I don't know if anyone from JHC is here, but they just earned their premier consulting status. I believe the first small business to ever do that, so we're super proud of them. But they do so because they have smart technology implementation, and they work together with us to ensure that they're delivering cloud services in a way that's not only efficient, but also cost effective. So this chart on the left, or on the right here, on the right, is a chart of a project that JHC and CLOUDCHECKR started working on last fall. It is a multi-million-dollar AWS infrastructure contract that really was having a difficult time taking off, right? Government entities, well, multiple government entities across the state needed to come together to agree on a path forward to really take that first step forward in order to get going. And so we worked together on a strategy, and you can see here, we started out in September of 2017. There was one end customer user in AWS, and they were spending less than $1,000 per month, which obviously translates to the number of resources that were being run in AWS. And slowly but surely started to increase awareness and education around the efficiency of cloud, and ultimately started growing pretty quickly. My favorite month here is February 2018, though. And anyone want to venture to guess why? It's fine. I'll tell you. I love this because in all of this great growth, in all of the success that we're seeing in adopting and moving to the cloud, there always needs to be a pause to optimize, right? And this February 2018 is an excellent example of a moment where we moved a bunch of resources, got a bunch of people trained. We were up to 20, 25 end customer users at this point, and we said, let's take a month to reconcile what we have, to track our inventory, to make some smart, strategic plans to invest for the future. And that's exactly what we did here. So we slowed down, and you'll see the next month we made a big investment in additional resources and training and users. They're now well over $100,000 in spend per month, much less than the contract allows, but almost to 100 end customer users in about 9 months. So working together with a partner to really drive adoption of those cloud-first initiatives in our public sector customer agencies. That brings me to DAE, and I'll invite Ben up. Ben is the CEO of Digital Age Experts. He's going to talk a little more on our relationship, how we solved challenges in the IC community, and how we plan to continue to deliver our services there. Ben?
Thank you. Hello. Awesome. Thank you very much, Alyssa. So my name is Benjamin Lapson. I'm the CEO and founder of Digital Age Experts. And I'm going to be talking to you today briefly about our partnership with CLOUDCHECKR and kind of how this adventure has begun. And first, I'm going to start with, and I'm going to do this by, a story of happenstance. So we at Digital Age Experts, we are a small professional services company that really specializes in AWS and C2S. What we are brought on to do usually with our customers are pretty much everything cloud, right? Anything from cloud native development to cloud governance to optimization, both cost and architecture to security and compliance, pretty much the whole gambit. So with one of our core customers, we were brought on to do just that. We were their cloud team, and part of our initiatives were to do all the things I just mentioned, to include cost optimization. So this organization was running about 30 different applications and systems, some mission critical, some not mission critical, some very mature, some not that mature, across about 55 different AWS accounts, spanning dev, test, and prod, right? So this is kind of the context of the environment we're working in. And in this environment, you have a very interesting cost optimization case among everything else, right? So you want to optimize for your individual micro-level items. So you have your individual EC2 instance, and I want to make sure that this instance is optimized for cost. Then you have your macro level, where I have 1,000 EC2 instances spread across umpteen different accounts. And how do I manage both sort of bulk and my planning and strategy for infrastructure, and then the whole fun foray into RI purchases, which could be another 2-hour discussion. So we were tasked with doing that in addition to everything else. So as we're doing this, we were kind of going through this effort of looking into utilization and over-provisioning and right-sizing and all these sort of things you do when you optimize for cost. And realistically, what was happening is we were spending a lot of time focusing on how to solve individual problems with cost instead of doing everything else we needed to do. The mission-focused items we were really brought on to do were kind of taking a backseat to doing these cost optimization tasks. So I had known about CLOUDCHECKR in the ICMP and decided, hey, we should probably launch CLOUDCHECKR because they do this, and they are one of the leading commercial companies that have been doing this for many years, so they probably know what they're doing. So as such, we went down the path of launching CLOUDCHECKR in this organization, and about that exact same time, some friends over at AWS said, hey, we should introduce you guys to CLOUDCHECKR, and it was kind of ironic. We said, hey, we're about to launch your AMI, and we're working through that right now in our organization, and we had this organic partnership form just by happenstance. So since then, we got it working, and within under a day, and within a few hours, we started finding things that we had missed. And we're really good at what we do, but when we try to scale out to 50 different accounts and a bunch of different resources, you just can't do it by yourself. So you really want to use these tools that have been doing it for you and just automate the whole process. Since then, we have had a very good relationship with CLOUDCHECKR. We've flown up to Rochester to their pretty amazing offices up there and learned from the best of the best on how to do both cost optimization and security and all the things CLOUDCHECKR does and how to utilize their products. And we have been supporting as an extension of CLOUDCHECKR into the IC of how to best give the customer a great experience with some of their installation, or if they have any questions, they can just hit us up. Because in addition to clouding, we are a company of mostly fully cleared individuals, right? So we maintain and have that fully cleared staff that also specializes in cloud, and we have that access that a lot of these commercial companies do not have. And that's one of the big challenges that a lot of these commercial vendors run into when trying to get into this air-gapped region. They say, all right, well, we would love to play in the space, but we don't have any cleared individuals, nor do we really want to. How do we do that? And one of the ways is through partners. So why would you even consider a company like us as a partner? One of the items I just mentioned is access is one of the big reasons, right? Dealing in these customer environments is not necessarily a technical challenge as much as it is a process challenge, right? So first, you don't have access. You probably want people with access to be able to do some of the hands-on, getting down and dirty items you might need with some vendors through the ICMP or direct to government or really whatever it is. Additionally, once you're in the space, there's a lot more than just deploying, right? You have to conform to all the accreditation pieces. You have to conform to a lot of the enterprise services. Let's just say customer has an enterprise audit that you need to share everything with. You have to do all these integration pieces, and trying to, I guess, memorize or figure out every single different customer's different specific means of doing all these sort of compliance and environment-specific items is challenging. So that's what we've been doing for umpteen years now. So might as well leverage a partner that's been doing that, and we also have in the cloud. So it was a pretty good match. Additionally, one of the interesting nuances for using our company specifically was that, again, with happenstance, we've been doing a lot of focus on building low and shifting high. That is kind of our mantra and our company's focus. So a lot of what we do is try to take things that are built low, whether it's built natively in commercial or UC2S, or you have these commercial best-of-breed systems that want to operate on the high side. And that's kind of one of the beauties of these air-gapped regions, is that you can take something that exists in AWS and shift it over to any of these air-gapped regions and get that extreme benefit and efficiency that these specialized pieces of software that were built and are optimized for the cloud kind of at your fingertips, right? And so this is something we've been pushing very, very aggressively. And one of the things we happen to do also in happenstance is we have went into the foray of developing our own product. So in addition to launching it ourselves and then being introduced to CLOUDCHECKR, we're also building our own product called Shift. And Shift is a full-scale emulation and testing platform that allows you to emulate any air-gapped region in commercial AWS. So this was great because what this allowed us to do is work with CLOUDCHECKR directly and say, all right, CLOUDCHECKR, you have this AMI that needs to go into the ICMP. But one of the current challenges you're running into is once it gets into the ICMP, you don't really have any visibility into it. So by leveraging this platform, you are now able to launch these AMIs before they go into any of these air-gapped regions and see exactly what's going on. And that is a beautiful thing, right? Typically, you don't want to deploy your brand new software into a production environment without testing it first, and this kind of allows you to do that. So again, story of happenstance, this triangle, I guess, of events kind of happened all at the same time, and it made for a very, very organic and great relationship. So a couple of takeaways. First, I would highly recommend don't try to conquer these specialized, isolated environments by yourself. Customer does some weird things sometimes, and it's very, very unique. And unless you've kind of gone through the pains and tribulations of trying to figure these things out, it usually saves you a lot of time and energy and resources to leverage a partner that has gone through this, and they can just share that with you, and it's a win-win-win, right? Customer wins because they get basically people who have done this before. The partner wins because they're not spending as much time and money investing into getting into these air-gapped regions, and then we win because we get to do cool work, realistically. Additionally, I highly recommend finding, if you're going to find a partner, finding a partner that is passionate. Ideally, what you want to do is be an extension of the commercial partner that you are working with, right? You want to treat it just like you would treat your own platform. You want to talk to it, talk about it, and evangelize it just like you would your own product. You want to be an extension, not just some partners like, oh, hey, here's CLOUDCHECKR, now look at me. No, you want to be an extension and an actual partner to the definition of the word. Lastly, if you're going to use an emulation testing platform, which obviously I highly recommend you do, make sure you use the right emulation testing platform. And this is very important. If you are going to test the AMI or product or workload that you're going to be shipping into production, make sure it's the actual AMI or workload that you're going to be shipping wherever you're going to ship. If you have to do additional configurations, that's usually where you're going to find your issues, right? And it could be as simple as I forgot a 1 somewhere, right? I fat-fingered a name or some sort of path or something like that. And just that simple mistake, like just very benign, just accidentally press an extra character, can cause pass the wrong region name, for example. And all of a sudden, you're having a lot of troubles where it would be a very, very simple, I found it in half a second if I was just able to test it. So make sure you're fully able to test exactly what you're doing. One final thing I want to say, and something we're really big advocates of and is becoming almost extremely apparent with our partnership with CLOUDCHECKR, is that the current state and the current environment of, I would say, the IC and a lot of these government customers is there's this huge need for cloud, right? Everybody needs to go to cloud. There's a cloud-first initiative, and everything has to be cloud. There are not a lot of resources that can cloud. I'll just straight up say it is very, very rare. So you have this huge disconnect of this need to do all these cloud things, and then the supply of these resources who can both cloud and happen to have the proper accesses to do cloud in your environment, right? So what you want to do, and one of the ways you can solve this, is don't spend your time with your cloud resources trying to reinvent things that already exist, right? The commercial world has been doing this for a while, a lot longer than the public sector has, and they have these products that are really, really good. They wouldn't exist if they're not really, really good. It's a very, very competitive market, so for them to survive must mean they're doing pretty good. Leverage your cloud resources to do the mission-critical and mission-specific items, right? That is one of the proponents of the cloud in the first place, is they want to remove all the blockers of all these things that are not unique to your specific use case. Follow that same mantra, right? Use your cloud resources to do something as mission-specific, something as unique, and something that is special to your specific need, and leave the kind of back-end items that have already been solved to commercial products and best-of-breed software such as CLOUDCHECKR. With that, I thank you for your time, and I thank Alyssa for giving me the opportunity to speak.
So Ben, thank you. You attribute a lot of our success to happenstance, but I think a lot of it, most of it is just good work and collaborative partnership, which is what this presentation is all about. I just want to end by speaking a little, just very briefly, on our relationship with AWS. One of the things that it has in common with the 3 partners that I've spoken of here, not just presented by an acronym name, although those are our favorite partners, so if you have an acronym name, come see me. But that we work together, that we're part of an ecosystem that we really appreciate, that we understand, that we navigate for the benefit of our end customers. And so being so customer-centric, we like to play matchmaker, to introduce customers to the partners and introduce partners to partners where complementary solutions and services can be paired to solve customer challenges. So I invite you to, as I shared, stop by our booth, ask questions. We're happy to point you in the right direction. Even if we can't solve your problem, we probably know a partner who can. And with that, my objective was to give you guys a little extra time to get to the keynote, as I know there will be pretty aggressive competition to get a seat at this event. So we do have some time for questions, though. So I'll invite anyone who has questions for Ben, even Travis, or myself. Yes?
Yeah, just a question about CLOUDCHECKR. Sounds like the product is pretty impressive at helping to ensure compliance with the checklist. Does it do anything as far as actually hardening the environment or hardening the resources, or is it strictly a checklist compliance tool?
So we do, yes. We do have some automation features, some fix now features to correct actions or to ensure that things are properly structured or configured in the first place. Yes, there's a mix of that.
So as far as the hardening is concerned, is that in the AWS account management environment?
It is on the AWS app, management plane, yes. Okay. Yep. Anyone else who wants to stay and ask questions, we'll hang out for a few minutes. Otherwise, we'll see you around the show. And thanks very much again for attending.